Welcome to Never Say Never, your host Samantha Seravalli, and we are here for yet another episode. And this episode is really something special to me because if you all watched the first episode, which most of you did, I had an amazing guest by the name of Tommy Spalding, absolute inspiration. And there was a young lady by the name of Stephanie, and I'm gonna let you tell them what your words were that hit me so hard because I just finished telling my testimony and then we went to the video and you said what?
Reach for the sky, keep your eyes on the prize, and you will rise. That's what it is.
Okay, so now I don't feel so bad for stumbling over the words because no one knows this except for Tommy until now. But the reason I stumbled over those words, Stephanie, was because I was so nervous and I couldn't believe that your testimony was, or what you said was like exactly what I just said. I was so nervous, I was shaking, and I couldn't read my own writing. So Tommy had to help me out a little bit and remind me of what your course was. So it was kind of crazy how did you get here? Explain to them how you're sitting here right now. What was it?
You know, Tommy had asked me, well, you know, you tell me what you like to do and I'll tell you who you're meant to be. And I was like, oh, singing, I wonder what my calling is, you know. And then it just from there he was like, hey, you Samantha, and you know, yeah. And then
it was just a little bit crazy. It went on from there, and I remember you saying that you really need to get back into it. And if I'm not mistaken, where did you just come from?
The studio.
So God works in amazing ways. And all right, now I want to rewind a little bit and I want you to tell them your story as growing up as a teenager. You said you had to overcome a little bit of adversity, so I want you to share that with us right now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like anybody as a teenager, you get brought into things, you know, the drugs, the partying, the this and that, and of course I experimented with that as a teenager and then broke away from it, but you always kind of fall back and forth, and so that happened a lot. I mean, I was raised to know God and everything, but of course you still fall off the horse every now and then. So,
yeah, so at that point as a teenager, when you fell, every time you got back up, you were just that much stronger, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course.
And you said something about you were living with your boyfriend out of wedlock. You kind of felt bad about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at with that today?
We're married now.
And you're living together?
Yes.
So you're no longer out of wedlock?
Nope.
And that took a lot of what happened to take you from doing the drugs and the alcohol as a teenager to being married, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but this woman right here I admire because she stands for what she believes in. She's turned down some opportunities because they weren't quite the kind of opportunities that she is trying to promote in her life or for our youth of today's society. And that's what Never Say Never is all about. We're trying to reach out to our youth because we have our kids growing up here and they think that it's okay and that they're alone, and you're not alone. I've been through it. She's been through it, and all the other guests on the show thus far have been through it. So what was it that helped you come out of that grip?
Well, I guess you gotta start like when the problem started, you know. I make a long story short, I had family members that had died. We were in a bad place in our relationship, me and my husband, you know, we weren't married at the time, but we were engaged. I had called off the engagement for about 2 years. Things just weren't good. I wasn't happy with my life. I didn't even want to be me, you know, so I started finding things to kind of distract me from living in my life, you know, so whether it was going out and drinking more, partying more, playing video games on hours on end.
Anything to numb your pain.
Yep, anything to not live in my life.
Right.
And so one day, I don't know how God did it, he got my attention again. You know, I started wanting to read the Word more. I started studying things. I got back into church. I got into the church choir and then did a solo. And once I built that relationship...
Let's backtrack a little bit. When you did that solo, I want you to tell them, where were you working at that time? And was that even a thought of, hey, this is what I'm gonna do? Where were you at when you did that solo, and what happened? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was working at a printing place, and lots of people came in, and you know, we did all kinds of stuff, and no, I didn't think I would go anywhere from that, and then I ended up meeting someone. God opened up the door at the right time, the right person, and
And who was that person?
Tommy Spalding.
Tommy Spalding. Okay, yeah, I know Tommy Spalding, and he's a really good friend of ours. And
oh my God, I made it! I drove like 300 miles per hour like a NASCAR driver to make sure I'm on time.
Tommy,
oh my goodness, yo, what's up? Oh, hey, how you doing? All right, Tommy Spalding in the house. You know, so much good things going on. I'm about to take over the world with this rap and stuff.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Stop,
yeah. And
calm down. What are you doing here, man?
The show. I gotta do the show, right?
No, your show's in a
Tommy
month.
Spalding, you know?
Your show's in a month.
Oh man!
You're a month early.
So I gotta go.
You gotta go.
Oh man!
That's our friend.
That's him.
That's our friend Tommy Spalding. But you will see him in a month from now. Unfortunately, it's not tonight. Anyways, Tommy Spalding. He came in. He came into your job and he said, you told me, if I'm not mistaken, that you never really engaged in conversation as much as you did with him. And what are some of the questions he asked you?
He just started asking me things like, at first I thought he was trying to hit on me or something. He was like, hey, have you ever done any modeling? And I was like, oh no. I was like, and then I answered him in a real, answer. I was like, no, I sing though. And he was like, well, what kind of music do you like to sing? And so I told him, I want to be like an R&B gospel artist. And he's like, sing for me. So I did, and he was like, you're going to be on my next track. And
then she was. If you guys go back to my very first episode, this is that angelic voice that gave me chills and repeated my testimony. Basically on what to do and how to overcome that adversity. And also she explained to me, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been offered some opportunities for some other tracks. What were the reasons why you rejected those opportunities?
The people are great and everything, but there's certain things I don't want to sing about. I don't want my music to be meaningless. I don't want it to be, I don't want to portray myself as somebody and say do this when I'm against it. And that's what it was about. I mean, they were, kind enough to say maybe we won't swear or this and that, but I was like, no, I want to get a certain message across. So to not get that message across, it's not for me.
I remember our phone call, and when I heard her telling me this, my smile was this big over the phone. I took up her entire lunch break, and I'm so sorry for that again. But this is a woman of faith right here. This is a woman walking by what she believes in, and not many people will do that. They'll be like, oh I get to be in the limelight, I am there. And she said no. She said no, and you know why? Because she has a message to give, and she wants to give that proper message so our community could be a little bit of a better place, right? Because we have all this negative media, all these negative songs, as our amazing friend Tommy Spalding talked about in the first show, how he has his kids growing up here, so he doesn't want to talk about go sell drugs, go do this, go do that, because he doesn't want his kids to hear that. So you are doing the same thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, I never thought in a million years when I saw you on that video that you would be sitting here today. So this is very special to me, and it's just an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to put you on the spot and make you sing, but if you want to, you can.
I know sometimes it gets rough and sometimes it gets tough, but don't give up, just aim for the sky and keep your eyes on the prize, and you will rise.
That's what I'm talking about right there. This is a woman with purpose. She's working in a print shop. A gentleman comes in, asks her to sing for him, and puts her on his track. And not only did he put her on his track, they're working on another one right now. Am I wrong?
Yep. No, you're not wrong. I thought you were saying, am I right?
It's okay. This is all about fun. This is all about positivity. And this is all about how to overcome adversity. Because even myself as a teenager, I've been through things, and I did the drugs, and I did the, the stupid things. But as I asked you before the show, we always fall, but when we fall, what does that do for us?
We get stronger every time.
Every time. We get stronger and stronger and stronger. How strong are you today?
Much stronger than I was a few years ago, and every time I fall I get even stronger then, so.
Yeah, and we're gonna fall, and that's the whole message. You're gonna fall again.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fall again, but the only difference is we're not gonna fall for that long, because we know how, we know there's a solution, and that is keep our eyes on the prize and aim for the sky. I said it right. Did I say it right?
You were right.
Ah, yay me. Okay guys, this is Samantha Seravalli. Where are you at today as far as your peace and your happiness, that your transformation? Where could you say you're honestly at?
I'm pretty happy with it. I want to go much further. I want to do a lot more. You know, I want to bring more people to God and spread the positive messages. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied where I'm at right now.
And when I tell you this girl means business, just not even a week ago, we're talking on the phone and we're talking about her first song with Tommy Spalding, and she tells me, I gotta get back in it, I gotta get back in it. She just left the studio tonight. So when we talk about determination, this girl right here has a lot of determination. And I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you because I know you're going to do big things. And I'm going to be following you the whole way. And I believe Tommy's coming back in a month. Well, he's obviously somewhere around here because he kind of popped up on us. His timing's a little off. But I want you to be back for that because we're going to do a recap on Tommy Spalding. So get ready for that because he has done so much. Everything that he said he was going to do in the last show, he's done times 10, and he's going to have times 10 within the next month. So I'm looking forward to that show. I'm looking forward to you being here because I know you're going to be a huge part of it. And I want you to do me one last thing and look at that camera and say never say never.
Never say never.
Till next time, never say never. Your host, Samantha Seravalli.